And you know what else is hot? These highlights right here, okay? Courtesy of, I think it's Athlete's Thread. Let me get the courtesy spot up. The performance on Instagram, okay? So you have Jalen Milroe. Let me set the stage for everybody, okay? Now, I'm going to open up the call line. We can talk. There's a football flying in the air. So you got Jalen Milroe. And yesterday we talked about Ty Simpson. I read all the comments inside the comment box, and everybody's getting fired up about the quarterback situation. Ty is better. Jalen Milroe is better. You don't like Jalen Milroe. You don't like Ty Simpson. Welcome to big-time college football, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And what I mean by that is you have elite talent at all of the positions, okay? You're telling me just because one person is elite, the other person can't be elite? Well, this is the standard of Alabama football, okay? Welcome to college football at the highest level. Alabama is still at the highest level. So when you have a quarterback like Jalen Milroe, who is a starter, there is more than likely going to be a guy behind him that is pushing him to be even better, and that guy is also elite. There is nothing wrong with having two quarterbacks that can perform at the highest level. You ever watch the NFL, right? You ever seen a guy come off the bench? You ever watch the 49ers? Where the hell was Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, coming in? And where's Trey Lance now? He's the backup for the Cowboys. My point is, there is elite talent here within the quarterback room. One of the strongest position units, whether you want to face it or not, is the Alabama quarterback room. Okay? Dylan Lonergan, pretty damn good. Austin Mackey's going to get there. All right? So these are the highlights that are circulating. Everybody's excited about them. You know what? I noticed a couple of different things. You know, first off, thank you, Jimmy Lee Baker, Hurts, Tua, Jones, right? That was all within the same room, okay? So I feel that Jalen Milroe, he continues to work on his mechanics. How high is the ceiling of Jalen Milroe? I think it is very high. I kind of think back to where Jalen Hurts was, right? Because a lot of, like Jalen Hurts, he was another criticized quarterback that couldn't get the job done, this and that. Now look what he's done for the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe not last season, but the year before, it took him to the Super Bowl, right? So I think Milroe's season combined with the fact that he has the physical attributes that make him, I would say, the most dangerous quarterback in college football. Jalen Milroe puts a season together this year. Right now, if you like to gamble, if you like value, I think Jalen Milroe is plus 1,400 for the Heisman Trophy. You aren't going to get a better value for your odds in the Heisman Trophy right now than Jalen Milroe. Because as soon as the season starts and as soon as he posts 6 total touchdowns against Western Kentucky in week 1, then you're going to start to try to get the Heisman Trophy and it's going to be too late. Okay? I think with Coach Kalen DeBoer coming in, and with the work that Jalen Milroe has done and what he is capable of doing, and I think just like Mike G is saying inside the comment box, and you've heard me say this a million different times, is I think Bill O'Brien did him wrong, and I think Tommy Rees wasn't ready for the stage, and I get it. Milroe has his own things that he needs to work on, just like every single quarterback that is thrown into the fire, right? But what Jalen Milroe brings to Alabama football is an ability to win football games, okay? He is going to win many football games. He might win a national championship for Alabama. That might be his legacy, okay? I get it. When you look back to the Michigan game, you look back to the Texas game, there was things that didn't go right for Alabama football, but it wasn't all Jalen Milroe. The offensive line didn't do him service. They didn't do him justice in the game against Texas, and they didn't do him service in the game against Michigan. Jalen Milroe shouldn't have thrown those passes against Texas. That looked amateur. That looked like a young guy who was overwhelmed by that magnitude of the game. Plus, give credit to Texas last year. In that football team, they also reached the Final Four. That was a Steve Sarkisian team that was pumping their chest, and that was their Super Bowl early in the season to be able to beat Nick Saban at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Steve Sarkisian's a hell of a coach, but that defense was better than we gave them credit for. Okay? Yeah, you know what, Danny? I even forgot about Julian Sain. It's crazy. I really did. I forgot all about him. And that was the crazy thing, was I was really excited about Julian Sain coming to Alabama football, and then he left, and we don't even talk about him anymore. I'm excited about Austin Mack. I really am. Someone said he's closer to 6'8". I haven't stood next to him. He looked pretty damn tall. 6'6", 6'8", not much of a difference. I don't know. Who's been one of the tallest quarterbacks that Alabama has had? I always like to, yesterday I asked that about the secondary, and someone brought up a really good point, said that it was Dre Kirkpatrick kind of floating in at 6'3", right? But now you have another Dre Kirkpatrick if you really want to feel old. If you really want to feel old, my daughter, who just graduated from 5th grade. Today was her last day of school. She went to school and she had a shirt on and it said, class of 2031. 2031. Okay? I'm class of 2022 or 2002. Crazy. 2032? That's where we're at? All right, before we get to these other photos, let me know where you guys are coming from. And then I'll open up the call line if you guys want to chat with me. It's 205-850-1994 right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I love the highlights from what I've seen from Jalen Milroe. And look, I'm not surprised to see him continuing to make progress. The one, I guess, video that has really caught my attention on Jalen Milroe this spring was the I don't even know where it's at. Maybe I can find it, actually. Let me see. It was the image of him in the gym. And then, no, he was throwing the football. Oh, here it is. Look. This was the video that shook college football. Okay, this is it. I'm gonna play it right now. Look at this. This is your quarterback. This is the quarterback for the University of Alabama. There's not one school that isn't terrified to face this guy you're playing. Okay, this is crazy. Milroe is working. Niggas got muscles on muscles. You can put the team completely on his back. That's the video that I really remember. And he's a leader. Okay? I know right? He's built like a boxer. Got the traps. Man, the dude's in the weight room. You can't even tell it. I mean, I guess you could see it kind of in this video right here. And you know what? Milroe even said that when the season ended, there was people hitting him up, sliding into his DMs. Come over here. Come be our quarterback. If he went into the transfer portal, any program would love to get Jalen Milroe. Let me ask you this. The other day I saw an article talking about quarterbacks making X amount from NIL. How much do you think Jalen Milroe is making? Do you think he's making $2 million this year for Alabama? Do you think he's making more? PK, what's up, man? He says, if Anthony Richardson can go in the first round, Milroe should be a top 5 pick. You know, Anthony Richardson was crazy, man, for Florida. I think that maybe they didn't utilize him to the best of his abilities, but every single time he stepped on the field, I was worried about what that guy was going to do because he was so dangerous. And I think Milroe is better than Anthony Richardson. I think he throws a better deep ball. Matthew is saying that On3 has his NIL value at 1.6. I don't know if that's like, yeah, they give him the value, but I don't know if that's like the actual number. But I think those are like numbers for us to work with. Matthew is saying, dude is Michael Vick 2.0. You know, they asked James Brockemeyer, or we did, when before James Brockemeyer had transferred, which is still kind of crazy to me. I felt that James Brockemeyer, you know, he made a hell of a breakthrough. What's up, A-Watt? I see you inside the comment box. C-Dub is saying Coker was so underrated. And they asked James Brockemeyer, they were like, who are you going to play with when NCAA football drops, right? July 16th, if you get it early. And he was like, Jalen Milroe, 1,000,000%. And I think the entire nation, the guy's on the cover of the game. Him with Travis Hunter. And I do like Ty Simpson too. I do. I think Ty Simpson is a hell of a quarterback. I think Ty Simpson could be one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Welcome to Alabama football. There's more than one good player. Wow. Shocker. Are you surprised? Wow. Jam Miller could be the best running back in SEC in college football. Wow. Does that mean that Justice Haynes isn't the same? No. Like, this is Alabama football. This is the brand of football. Just because you have one guy doesn't mean that another guy can't be great as well. These guys are pushing themselves all the time. All right. So, love what I've seen from Jalen Milroe. He's putting in the work. His shirt, I think his shirt was an Allen Iverson shirt. I think it was a AI shirt. I personally really liked Allen Iverson. I think I saw it one time. Did you see? I can't see it right there. I liked Allen Iverson, right? Practice, we're talking about practice. Look, you put the ball in AI's hands. I felt though the team, like it was always going to be just his team, right? I get it. Like some players are just like, that's them. He didn't have a lot of contributors, right, for the Sixers. But I loved AI. All right. So the team's working together. Here's Jalen Milroe working with Jordan Palmer. I'm sure you saw that. That was released yesterday. The team is putting in work together. Look, iron sharpens iron. That's what Smooth just said right here inside the comment box. Kettlebell work with Jalen Milroe on the right. You got another quarterback who we talked about yesterday, and that is Ty Simpson. Just like Rocket Town is saying, run the thumbs up. I appreciate it. AY is saying inside the comment box. If I was a bigger hater of Milroe till I realized our team was one of the top teams allowing sacks. Hard to throw accurately on your back, and you can see with the circumstances. Patriot Life in with 5 fan funders. I appreciate you, Patriot Life. Thank you for supporting our great community, the undefeated, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Matthews got to go do that work, man. I appreciate you being here on Thursday. Coach Jay is saying you guys out here talking about practice. We're talking about practice, right? That might be Allen Iverson inside the comment box. Milroe is going to dominate this year. Just didn't have any structure last year. He really make every 4th and 30. That was there's the 2nd and 26 by Tua that is always going to live in your mind. And there is a 4th and 31. And I get it. Look, I know who caught the ball. It was Isaiah Bond. I'm not going to pretend that it was another wide receiver. That was it. Welcome to college football. There's going to be players on your team that you choose to root for, and then they're going to leave. Demetrius, what's up, man? I appreciate you. Man, the team is working this summer. The team is hungry this summer. Shaking the camera with my fist, okay? Because nobody believes in this team. This team is viewed as vulnerable. We've talked about this. People don't believe on the quarterback on the right of your screen. People think that the quarterback on the left is good. They don't think he's great. They don't think that Kalen DeBoer is mean enough to beat this team. We talked about his kindness and that people are thinking that he's soft. So the team is in the gym. They're working. They're in the lab. I like it. Haters gonna hate for sure. Jarvis, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I think Alabama's going to be tough to beat. Bama hater, what's up, man? You know, Bama hater, I told you before, there was I think we had 350 people that were blocked. That we had a former moderator sneak in and sabotage. So everybody's back in. But Bama hater, man, I appreciate you being here. Standard for what? Whining and making excuses after losing. Ain't Nick gone? Bama just sent the entire graduating class away without a ship. That count ain't stopping no time soon. You know, I think Bama hater, I appreciate you being here, man, and trying to start some smoke. I think with Nick Saban, with him exiting, I think he had the emotional intelligence to leave at the right time. I feel that he could, just like he said many different times, he wasn't able to tell people that he could be here for 5, 6, 7 more years in terms of coaching. But it's been amazing to see what he's done, post-retirement. He's giving an interview every single day, and he's at these golf events, and it's almost like there's Nick Saban, and then now is Coach Kalen DeBoer. What's amazing is how low Coach Kalen DeBoer's views are in terms of the podium and the interviews. I don't know if he's been giving too many interviews or what, but the views are a little bit concerning. But I think in terms of turning over the keys, Kalen DeBoer was the right guy to do it, because the offensive-minded coach, this is an offensive game that we play right now, basically grasp basketball, and you have Jalen Milroe, who's probably going to be putting up 50, 60 points a game. All right, Roll Tide Patty, what's up, man? I appreciate you being in here. Link Tank's on a whole different level this year, 100%. You saw it tatted on the arm of Caden Proctor. Lynn Shanafeld, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Milroe needs to have time to read the defense, and it's hard to do when you're scooping the football off the ground. Yeah, look, here's a quick trivia question, okay? How many centers left from Alabama? How many centers? Demetrius, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. How many centers left? Let's count them up. Mike G hit the nail on the head, right? Jeff, it's actually 3. Terrence Ferguson, Florida State. Seth McLaughlin to Ohio State. And James Brockemeyer to TCU. It's wild, right? So center coming in, Parker Brailsford, never even saw him snap a football. And then after that, you have Big Gino coming in. I think so. I think you're right. The views are low because Bama fans aren't used to our coach giving out a lot of interviews. I think you're right. Plus, you could talk to the assistant coaches now, too. Plus, it's this time of year. I don't know. I think they'll pick up in time, but like when Saban hit the podium, man, my goodness. Or when he was at an event, it was just like skyrocketing. I don't know. I'm going to continue to track those numbers. It's important for me. But the team is putting in work. I love to see it. There is another image right here. Look at this. Anybody know who this is? Raise your hand inside the comment box if you know who this is. Look at this. This is plates on plates. Okay. Who can do the quick math on that real quick? How much is that? That is CJ Dupree, I believe. We don't always talk about the tight end room. It's kind of a position that always gets forgotten about. It's kind of like people don't talk about tight ends. People don't talk about special teams. Well, I'm going to talk about tight ends and special teams real quick, okay? And I'm going to tell you why you should be really excited about the tight ends and why you should be excited about the special teams play. Okay, let me just remind you, in case you're out there and you're just like, okay, the team revolves around Jalen Milroe and I guess Malachi Moore and I guess this guy named Keon Sabb on defense. Hold on. The tight end plays a very versatile role here at the University of Alabama. And the thing about the tight end room, when you look to Alabama, and this is CJ Dupree right here, played in 540 snaps last year for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Don't get upset that Amari Niblack went to Texas. I'm going to tell you why, okay? Because when you look to this Alabama tight end room, it's a very good tight end room that has a lot of capable tight ends. I don't think, in my opinion, there's a dominating tight end in this room, and I don't think you need a really dominant tight end within this particular system, but I think you have tight ends that are more than capable to do the job for Alabama, whether blocking, whether 12 personnel, whatever the case is. Efron, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Good morning to you, and I appreciate you. Ken O, what's going on, man? Miami fan accusing other teams of buying players. I was surprised to see how much Mario Cristobal was making because the results just haven't been there. But man, they certainly have a ton of cash. Man, they're top 3 in the ACC this year? I'm gonna talk about Florida State's schedule and Texas' schedule here on the back end. I want to get your feedback. But for the tight end perspective, you have CJ Dupree who comes in, who's more than a capable tight end. Okay, I would say he's like a balanced type tight end. Okay. One of the tight ends that I'm extremely excited about is Robbie Oots. And what is an H-back? And you see like an H-back, you're like, what the hell is that? An H-back can be a very key player within your offense because they can almost float in the backfield and be an extra blocker. You can put them inside of a goal line situation and they can move people. Robbie Oots is like 265 pounds and he's athletic. Okay. Don't forget about Danny Lewis, 6'5", 260 pounds. I always feel like you ever seen like Charlie Brown, like the kid who waits out in the pumpkin patch? What was his name? Linus, right? Waiting for this pumpkin patch, and I'm always waiting for this tight end to come and like be the tight end that I've been looking for. I don't know if that's going to be Danny Lewis, but I certainly believe that he's capable of being that guy. Okay, you have Jay Lindsey coming in, and then you have Josh Cuevas, who came from Washington to Alabama. There's your tight end room, and you're like, where's Caleb Odom? Why aren't you talking about Caleb Odom? You're sleeping on Caleb Odom. He's playing wide receiver. So he came in and he played kind of tight end wide receiver at the high school position. One of the first time I saw and even heard about Caleb Odom, I turned on the TV and I saw him scoop. I kid you not. I turned on the TV and I saw him make a one-handed catch in the end zone. I was like, damn, that dude's got some paws. Okay. So then he comes over here and he switches to wide receiver, which is amazing because we're talking about the wide receivers. And every time we mention the wide receivers, you're talking about Jeremy Bernard, Kendrick Law, Kobe Prentice, Emmanuel Henderson. The list kind of goes on and on and on, right? Well, Caleb Odom, you talk about Ryan Williams, of course. And you're like, where's Ryan Williams? He's getting here soon. Should be here in a couple days. Same thing with Rico Scott and Amari Jefferson. Well, Caleb Odom is also a freshman. He's already been here, and he moved to the wide receivers. So, man, I saw him out on the field. It's easy to hype up freshmen when they're just here. The guy looked pretty damn good to me. Like, elite, special. He's good. No Speed is saying Oots was trucking people last year. Love that dude. Remember when he was trucking people against Kansas State when they threw the football to him a couple times? That was 2 seasons ago in the Sugar Bowl. And that was crazy. I love that dude. Robbie Oots is a beast. Okay. This is Ty Simpson putting in work. I like that bucket hat in the back and that Nike shirt too.